Lissa, I struggle with quantities. I don't eat enough and then I end up craving all kinds of other stuff. Do you have any tips? I'm going to address that in this video. Thank you again for joining me for another video here on my channel. If you love videos like this, don't forget to click like, subscribe, and click the bell if you want to get notifications sent to you every time I post a new video. You can also get some raw vegan wrap recipes in my new hand salads ebook for 40% off. All of my ebooks, all of the recipes, everything is 40% off with code RAWFOOD40. You can find the link in the description box below and enjoy adding more raw food to your diet. So today I had a question in my Instagram inbox and they were asking for suggestions because they struggle with eating enough quantity. So I really wanted to make this video because I feel like this is probably the #1 top struggle that people have when they go on a raw diet. They're just not eating enough. And if you are not eating enough fruits and vegetables and enough variety from those, then you're gonna look for calories elsewhere. You're gonna look for it from high fat and maybe even cooked food, other things that are going to give you those dense calories to feel satiated. And you're always going to end up going towards what you're used to, what tastes good, what's convenient, what your friends and family are doing, and what is habit. A craving is really just a reflection of our habits. So if you habitually go to the drive-thru after work on a stressful day because you're hungry, then you're habitually gonna crave that when you are hungry because it's just a repetitive habit, and our minds always default to the easiest, simplest, fastest route, and that usually is our habits. So we will crave a lot of the stuff that we used to eat or want to eat or have been eating our whole lives. And when we are not eating enough, this is when this becomes a problem. So the goal is to learn how much you need. And for the average person, it's anywhere between 2,000 and 2,500 calories. It depends a lot on your height, your size, your activity level, all kinds of factors come into play. But anywhere between 2,000 and 2,500 is a really great place to start. And if you're really active, more towards the 2,500 range. If you're less active, more sedentary, maybe around the 2,000 range is a great place to start. So, but how do you know how much 2,000 calories is? Well, that's why I encourage people to learn about the foods that they're putting into their bodies. Use something like Chronometer. I love Chronometer, and I used it a lot in the beginning of my raw journey to learn what 2,000 calories looked like on a raw diet. Like, how much do I need to put in my fruit smoothies? How big do I need to make my salads? How much food am I actually going to need to eat on a raw diet? Because raw food is lower on the calorie density scale. They're not like high fat or processed foods because those have low water content, low fiber content, or no fiber content in some cases, like oil and animal products and many processed foods, and they're high fat. So the fat is going to increase the calories, and the lack of water and low fiber is going to make them very calorie dense. So it's easy to eat a lot of those, but it's also easy to eat more calories than you need. On a raw diet, however, the food is high in water content, also really high in fiber content, and lower in fat, so it's lower in calorie density, meaning you need to eat way more of it to get the same amount of calories as you would from the dense stuff. So you do have to eat more raw food, and it might be a lot more than what you are used to or what you think you might need, because the human stomach can really only fit about 500 to 600 calories of water-rich, fiber-rich raw foods in it at any given time. So if you can only fit 500 or 600 calories in, and then you feel full, after that digests fairly quickly, you're gonna need to fill it up again with more raw foods. So if you're looking for 2,000 calories, you're going to need to eat more often to make sure that you get enough. Because again, as I said, if you don't eat enough adequate amounts of fruits and vegetables with a small amount of nuts and seeds and other things like ferments or whatever. But if you're not eating enough of those, then you're gonna default to the higher fat things like a whole tub of guacamole or a whole cup of cashew cream or handfuls of nuts, cooked foods. Like, we'll start to crave those things because our body is just looking for dense calories because we're not giving it enough calories from the raw food. So we need to eat more. The number one tip that I have for people who are struggling with that, aside from learning about what's in certain foods, like how many calories are in an apple, how many calories are in a big bowl of salad, and figuring out how much you need, is to plan out your day. If you don't plan out your day, you risk just winging it. And that involves skipping meals and going too long without eating. Maybe you're portion controlling, or maybe you just forget to eat and you just all of a sudden you're like, I'm really hungry. And you're gonna default to what you crave, what is habitual, what's convenient, what's around, whatever you can get your hands on. And it's really hard to make a different decision when your body is just looking for energy. So plan out your day. Plan what you're gonna have for breakfast, for snacks, for lunch, and dinner. Just write it down on a piece of paper the night before. Like before you go to bed, just write it down. And then make sure that you schedule in the time you need to make that happen, to make it your reality. That is how you're going to ensure that you eat enough throughout the day, is when you plan it and make sure that you follow your plan. Like if you plan to have breakfast at 7:30 in the morning before you go to work, have breakfast before you go to work. Take the snacks with you to work. Snack on fruit. That's like the best snack that you can have to keep your energy levels up and your calories up and your nutrition up, your hydration up. I mean, it's a really great snack. So bringing with you chopped mango or pineapple or bananas or apples or oranges or whatever. Make another smoothie if you have to for a snack, but make sure that you get enough in, because over time you're going to be under eating more, and then it's just, you're going to snap back the other way because your body is just craving more density. You're just not giving it enough calories to avoid having those cravings. And like I've said in many videos, that cravings don't ever go away. They just change. When you change your habits, you change your cravings. So now when I'm hungry, which is a totally normal, natural body sensation and body signal, is that I crave raw food because I've been doing it for almost 9 years now. I default to raw because I default to habit. It's so easy for me to choose that. But in the beginning, you're gonna default to what is currently habitual for you. So you have to gradually, consciously be aware of what you're craving and realize that a craving is just your body's way of saying, hey, I need some fuel, you know, give me some fuel. So eat some fruit, make a smoothie, make a bigger salad. Some other tips too is to make more in your salad, like make bigger salads, have more food in there, and try different recipes. See if there's some that you really like that you can default to when you are in that state of hunger and you're like, I just need anything. At least you could make something that you know you're gonna love and enjoy and that's easy for you. When I first started, that was my French dressing. I would always have my French dressing. Pretty much every day I would make it. But it was a massive salad with tomatoes and cucumbers, a whole head of lettuce, lots of sprouts and microgreens and other kinds of things in there. And I would just make the French dressing, which was 5 dates, 2 cloves of garlic, the juice of a lemon, some apple cider vinegar, half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, and a little chipotle powder. And I'd blend that with a cup of water, and I had my favorite dressing of all time. Now these days I add a tablespoon of chia to that to make sure I get enough omega-3s. It doesn't really change the taste much. In the beginning, that was my go-to default, and that helped me through a lot of times where maybe I went a little long without eating and I was really hungry. I'm like, I can just make my French salad and I'm gonna be happy. It's gonna be delicious. But over time, the more you practice your new habits, the easier they get. And then you'll be able to make sure that you're eating enough when it becomes your new habit. So in the beginning, it's a little challenging. It's like you're going over a lot of speed bumps, but you can totally do it. Learn about what is in the food that you're eating and learn how much food you need to eat to get adequate calories and adequate nutrition, because it's not just about the calories. Yes, we need calories, but we also need nutrition. So making sure that we have a wide variety of foods can help give us a wide variety of nutrition as well. Because you could eat mangoes all day. You probably get enough calories if you ate enough of them, but to get all the benefits from all the other foods, everything has their pros. And so having more variety in your diet, adding more greens, more vegetables, cruciferous, roots, sprouts, microgreens, other fruits, have a wide variety of food to ensure that you're getting a wide variety of nutrition, not just the calories, but also food for your microbiome. They thrive on variety, so trying to add more variety in is going to be really helpful as well. So next time you have a craving, stop and recognize the craving for what it is. It's just a signal that your body needs some fuel. Once you recognize that, then you can start to make different choices and choose things that align with your goals and desires. So hopefully this video helped to answer that question. Thank you so much for being here. And don't forget that you can get 40% off our raw vegan ebooks, including my brand new hand salads, raw vegan wraps ebook. Yes, they're oil-free. Yes, they're gluten-free. There's no coconut used in the wrappers. So they're mostly fruits and veggies with a small amount of psyllium and omega-3, either chia or flax. So they're low fat, they're delicious. You can fit a lot in them because they're nice and big. If you want to get recipes for that, check out the link in the description box below. Go to my store and use code RAWFOOD40 to get 40% off that ebook and all of the ebooks that we have in there too. So if anything else interests you in our store, add it to your cart and use that discount. Thank you so much for joining today. We'll be back next week for another video. I love you all so much, and fruit on.